Hello and welcome to this morning's update. Pretty big day in the end yesterday with some significant moves in a few different asset classes. Just starting off with Euro, we had the range relativity extreme with divergence. Needed to get the election out of the way, and then yesterday we broke the nearest daily support, so the downside target's 116.17. If we do the dollar index, 92.05 has been critical level for a while, and we finally made a significant close above it yesterday, and we've extended a bit higher again today, so 93.86.5, and of course now that 92.15 level becomes a very important support. Gold bucked the trend yesterday, and we had the buy signal just having held the daily support on the Thursday. We had the time continuation on Friday, broke out, very strong performance having held that support again early on. 1307.2 is pretty important again, so need to avoid a close back below there. Next is Aussie dollar. I talked last week about when we had this big reversal after the Fed from the day before, and how traders use the range deviation pivots in order to get a counter trend or a better execution point on any of potential signals, and the way they do that is to look to sell one or two up on the range deviation pivots. So 79.80 was our big level. We topped out at 87, I think. Yep. Pretty quiet yesterday, a little bit weaker today. Downside 78.77 first of all, so people are now in that position. Also talked about crude last week. It topped out at 51.11 to the tick midweek, then held its station and then broke up and through that level. I think it was mid-morning, so people got involved on that breakout. It was pretty significant. We didn't close above 3 up, so it did reach its limit of range for the day, but as you can see, nothing above, and that 51.11 point is now very, very important below. There's a big contrast in different US indexes. Nasdaq has been the poor relation and closed below a daily support point yesterday, so reference above is 58.97. Contrast that with the Russell, which is small stocks. It's pretty stark. Topped out in a stepping process here, came back down and ended that process again ahead of the weekly support. No signal at this big weekly level since then, but it's at new all-time highs, so a real contrast there. And the E-mini finds it, or the S&P finds itself a little bit stuck in the middle. Held 24.87 and a quarter. Sorry, that level's disappeared. Hit 3 down at one point yesterday. Let's just spread that up so you can see a little bit better. So intraday hit its limit of range, which was 24.86. I think the low was 85. But nothing's moving above price, so nothing to indicate a top at the moment. Moving on to some of the bigger stocks, Facebook took a big hit yesterday. Weekly resistance moved to the top. You can see this blue line. Monthly resistance moved to the top, so this 175 was a very, very important level. Had some negativity there with time continuation and UFO, and then got hit yesterday and broke that weekly support with ease. So that 165 level, very, very important on any sort of bounce. What's a little bit scary, space. Yeah, there is no short-term support. While we're on all things Nasdaq, we might also have a quick look at some of the other stocks. Apple, some negative stories about lack of queues for their latest £1,000 phone, which is mental in any, well, in an old person's mind is completely mental, but anyway. 156.65, we just broke it and we have not come back. Important support at 142.20, but obviously under a bit of pressure. Google as well. been trapped in sideways really. Actually, it wasn't when I was looking at it yesterday. It was pretty weak. It recovered a fair bit. There is decent support at 918.60, and this monthly level will move to the top. Will move up as well, and suddenly Google will be condensed. It'll have $100 range basically. Amazon, it's getting them mixed up. It was Amazon that was poor. It held the third range deviation pivot down, 933.30, and the low was 932.89, and also this weekly support. What is significant though is this monthly level is pretty much guaranteed to move above price at the end of this month, so that will create a major barrier. And also Netflix, which was also under pressure, similar story. And finally Netflix, similar story there, a range relativity extreme and a slam dunk monthly moves to the top. So a lot of barriers